Hey guys, it is Ben, aka the Fuse Box, coming to you with Fusebox Engaged. I am alone, it seems, at the moment. It has been a very busy Thursday for everybody, including myself. But I think I have a nice topic I'd like to go over for a little while with all of you. Let's see here. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Where is it? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I have a lot of tabs open. So, I have been asking and polling a lot of people, trying to figure out if it's possibly time for a change in the schedule. So far, it looks like we are deadlocked between excuse me. It looks like we are deadlocked between the idea of it being a good day and a good time and a good day and a bad time. So I don't quite know what to make of that. I'm honestly thinking about trying to do 2 days a week, possibly doing because she hasn't been doing her show, Lola After Midnight, for a while. You're gay. But I'm thinking that, oh, I froze. Am I not frozen anymore? Am I still frozen? I'm not a frost giant. So I hope I'm still present. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing Saturday, possibly after midnight, because I think that'd be a good time. Okay. No, I just said that that I'm thinking about doing 2 streams a week. I'm thinking about keeping the Thursday one, possibly changing up the time to better accommodate people depending on how this poll ends up, but we're still freaking deadlocked. But I'm also thinking about adding Saturday and doing a after midnight, because Lola suggested I take the after midnight slot since she hasn't been doing her show. So I'm thinking that's probably a good idea, because I want to get the viewership up. We used to have a lot of folks who were able to come on the show, and it just seemed like everybody's schedules started filling up, and Thursday doesn't seem to be a super great time for everybody. It could just be me, but you know, I'm too damn arrogant to think that it's me. Yeah, I think, you know, especially on a Saturday, like, there ain't no excuse to miss it on a friggin' Saturday. So I'll get to scold people. But let's see here. I wanted to get into a little bit of what I've been excited about. I don't get excited about a hell of a lot these days, but I'm pretty excited. No, don't you dare. I'm getting pretty excited about the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. Yeah. 2023. So PS5 exclusive. Blah, blah, blah. A trilogy? That's it? They're claiming it's going to be a trilogy. Okay. Let's try this again. Because my effing internet has been acting up. God almighty. Well, tell Tank Ferret to get the hell in here, damn it. Thank you. I'm trying. Oh, lordy. Okay. Let's get back to what we was looking at here. So, yeah, they're claiming... This website is claiming that the remake... The 7 remake is going to be a trilogy. I don't know how they're gonna be able to do that, because they literally took a tiny fraction of the game and stretched it the hell out into an entire game. So something tells me if they're making this a trilogy, they're gonna be cutting corners, possibly. They're gonna be cutting shit out. I don't want that. The big thing I was excited about with the remake was the idea of fleshing the story out, filling in some of the gaps that the original game left. Do not screw me, Square Enix. I swear to God. That is absurdity. What's up? Square Enix is claiming that they're gonna screw me.
Oh, don't they screw everybody on all this entertainment stuff anymore? I mean, why is anyone even shocked anymore?
No, but I mean, they're claiming that the 7 remake is gonna be a trilogy, and the remake part 1 was all just the Midgar stuff. So it's like, if they're gonna it sounds like they're gonna be condensing the story, and I don't want that. I like the idea of them fleshing this shit out. Da-na-na. Oh, I didn't realize Intergrade was now available on Steam. That is really cool.
So
tentative next winter.
I mean,
what's up?
just following what you're saying and seeing what's going on. Sorry, I got dropped in last minute. I was working so late, I didn't even realize what time it was. So
it's all good.
You have no idea. I have been trying to sort, organize, clean up, rewrite, finish out, flush out about 25 years of poems, short stories, novels, songs, and stuff I've been writing.
Well, fuck yeah.
And so far, I have about 500 of the poems sorted, organized, fleshed out into the books, and ready to put up into my websites I'm going to be designing. Finished.
Are they going to be available on the PlayStation 5 or on Steam?
I do not do those machines. You visit website and don't be a lazy bastard, buy merch. I mean,
you know.
I'm a writer. What do you want? I don't make video games.
The 7 Remake Part 2 is going to be available next winter. Can you beat that?
With my eyes shut, farting in a jar.
See, I don't like to think that women fart. I just...
Oh, deal with it.
I block that out of my mind. Like, women don't poop, they don't fart. It just magically vanishes.
We are not fluffy unicorns, you freaking weirdo. I mean...
It's very true.
And I am getting myself more organized than I have been. Because let's face it, everyone knows I'm a scatterbrained ditzy artist. We all know this, right?
I mean, I have no room to talk, but you know.
I've even got a log that I'm actually keeping track of all the streams and plans and interviews and stuff I'm doing with people in.
That's a good thing.
I'm really doing this. I'm actually get myself more organized and functional.
So it looks like the Final Fantasy VII Remake may not end up on the Xbox, and I am totally fine with that. Those guys get way too much. That's right, I said it.
The question is that I listen to it. I mean,
Because, Xbox people are spoiled.
I don't know. I gave up on gaming machines long ago because I never have much time to game, and when I do, it's turn-based RPGs that are single player, anyways. And if you get those on gaming machines, they're expensive as all unholy fuck. Whereas a lot of the games you can get full ad-free versions of them from the same company, everything downloaded onto a phone for like $2.
You can get the original Final Fantasies on your phone.
So why would I need that? I don't do much of any games that take hand reflex and timing because with my nerve tics with Parkinson's and stuff, that doesn't work well. And it was hard enough as a little kid. It's almost impossible now. It just is. And I'm not a big fan of MMOs. I get bored with them. I usually turn psycho and start killing everybody in the server in a few months, and then I get bored with them.
I don't play MMOs.
I have both from all the way from cheap apps all the way up to some of the big ones. I have played MMOs, and the exact same cycle happens every time. I start the game, I grind through it like hell for a few months. At some point, up one of the top few players in the server, killing everyone else, and then I get bored and sell the account to somebody else and leave.
I mean, I think that's worth it because, I mean, MMOs, like, I think I've said it before, like, they're not fun as RPGs because they're never ending. There's no end game.
The great part about roleplay games is that striving for an ending. It's that I'm going to beat the day. I'm going to save the day. I'm going to win the day. I'm going to rule this world. This world's going to come back to life because of what I did. It's that solution. You know?
King Leak, I would recommend you play Final Fantasy X. That game is incredibly emotional.
I will say, one of the good companies that did several of the lesser-known RPGs that were really good in the 80s and 90s for different machines was Kemco. And they actually do a fuck ton of old-style turn-based RPGs now for phones and apps. So you actually have a true retro game company making a lot of these and making retro-styled.
Yeah.
That to me is a win.
King Leak, how dare you? How dare you? That's all I can say to that. I don't like censorship either, but I've always been a loyal PlayStation gamer.
Okay. Small side note. Do you know what games I was really into and played a shit ton when I was a little kid playing on machines?
Final Fantasy VII.
No. Games even. This was before I even got into the RPGs. Do you know what broke me into gaming?
Final Fantasy VIII.
Before that. How young do you think I am? I started gaming, playing old pinball games on the original Atari series stuff.
Pac-Man.
There was a little of that, but mostly pinballs. I was a pinball wizard. I totally was. And I was very into a lot of the Sega games, so I loved Sonic stuff growing up. So I had a favorite game for a long time that I beat repeatedly the entire game. That was Sonic Spinball. Which was literally, it was your levels like you would play in Sonic, but each level was he'd go to this place and enter a machine where he'd have to climb through multiple layers of this pinball machine and trigger all these different things to open a gate to a boss level. Yeah. And that was each level of it. And there were multiple stages like that throughout the game. And
I am very much a story-based gamer.
oh, there
I need
was
a good
it
story.
still had the storylines that Sonic always had of try to save this day, all that stuff, the very basic things that most of those kinds of games had. It still had that, but it had like 6 or 7 different pinball machines all hooked into one, sometimes more, and you had to play through all those in order just to beat one level. And each one of those, you had to play things in the other ones to interlink between them. It was crazy. I loved it. I mean, I loved it. I love that kind of shit. Okay.
Let's see.
Why am I giggly? This is weird for me. I don't usually get like this.
It's a good thing. Can I
Woo!
wait, mod? You know, I think there is something like that, but I don't know if it's a mod so much as it's like you like change the overall like what country your service is located in. Like if you say like, oh, I'm part of PlayStation Japan and you're in America, and you can get like the Japanese stuff. And I mean, Japan is where it's
NordVPN
at.
helps you switch your IP's location all the time, so you can get different things that are location blocked.
Wise Guys does not remember that game.
It was not well known. It did not hit well because most of the people that were into Sonic were not into pinball and vice versa. So it was kind of a niche market. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Fucking hell. That was the first game I ever beat all the way through on my own.
I think
the first RPG game I ever beat through all the way on my own was Phantasy Star 4.
I don't even remember the first game I beat all on my own. Like, I was so like weird about the beginnings of games. Like, I would replay the Final Fantasies, but I would never finish them. I only finished them once I became an adult. It was very bizarre. I know I definitely started beating games when they started making them super shorter, which I've grown to loathe as I've gotten older.
Uh-huh.
Wider World, the reveal trailer, blah, blah, blah. This article is not telling me anything new. Yeah, they're mentioning how, yeah, it's definitely going to be very different from the original game because they kind of pulled Days of Future Past with the story. Sephiroth has gone back in time. He's altered the timeline, which could be interesting or it could be very bad. And that makes me nervous, but Japan rarely lets me down. King Leak says Sonic Spinball was on Game Gear, wasn't it?
I'm trying to remember. Shit.
I didn't play that. I think the earliest games I remember playing were like Spyro the Dragon, Tekken 3 on arcade games, and JV Wants Me to Be Better.
Because Game Gear was kind of an odd thing anyways, where it wasn't quite its whole full-on system, you know?
Hail the lore. I agree with that statement.
No. Actually, I do remember that was before the Game Gear officially hit. It was not by a long time, but it was Genesis.
It's early.
It was when you were still a little shit. I mean,
I got into games late. My parents were like,
I did too, because I was hyper poor. But I'm also several years older than you, so.
Well, it's like my parents, like I played educational computer games when I was little, usually about dinosaurs.
My mom, the reason why she was happy with me playing video games is because of the hand-eye issues and seizures, because as long as they weren't ones that had a lot of flashing, it actually helped restore some of the hand-eye coordination and nerve damage from the seizures.
Hell yeah. King League
Let me put it
says
this way:
that's
if they put it on Game Gear, it was an edition later because the Game Gear was a few months after their first version of it. But again, a lot of the games that were released on the Genesis towards the end, they also did editions for the Game Gear too, which was interesting, weird kind of time. Yeah, I love when I'm right. I mean, I was thinking about it. No, because I played that on my own and I was broke as fuck. So there's only one machine I actually ever paid for. Most of the machines I played on were the ones my brother got from working in an electronics store. So the only machine I ever actually paid for and had on my own was a Genesis because I was broke. And yeah, the only games I had on that were Spinball, a few of the big names, and then this crate I got of promotional and advertisement-based games that a place gave me. That's some of the weirdest shit games, I swear to you.
Did you ever play Final Fantasy VII? You had to.
No.
But the
no,
fuck,
because
man?
it was expensive, and I had no money. I played what I could get cheap. I played what I could get cheap. That was it.
Well, they made like in the past few years, they made a shit ton of sequels and prequels to it. Most of them sucked. The only one that didn't was Crisis Core, and they're making a remaster of it for the PS5. And I think that is just fucking tits.
Okay, when you said fucking tits, my mind went really dirty.
It is tits.
No, it's the fact that you said fucking tits. Try Freudian titty bang comment here. Anything?
Well, didn't you? Well, you are aware that Tifa from Final Fantasy VII has very large tits.
Well, yeah, I am all for the big boob representation, as you can probably tell from me. So yeah.
I have no idea who H.R. Geiger is. Scorn looks like it's going to be amazing, but it's going to be on the Xbox, so I will disregard it. I'm sorry. Solitaire. Good Jesus, wise guys.
What the fuck?
Solitaire?
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Wise guys, come on. What the fuck? Solitaire? Come on. What the fuck?
I know we're all kind of older, but I mean, for God's sakes. But yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Speaking of which, it's the torture husband year. My husband's going to be 40 in a couple months.
This game is set 7 years before Final Fantasy VII. It is about the character Zack, who was barely mentioned in 7. But it's a whole thing. Our main character, Cloud, he basically, when his memory was wiped, he ended up thinking that he was his best friend Zack, so a bunch of his memories got jumbled up. And long story short, Zack ends up dying at the end of this game, and it was so emotional that even though we all knew it was coming, I still cried my eyes out.
Do you know what's funny about that comment, wise guys? Besides the fact that, yeah, I think most kids, if you were around in the 80s, played that game, if nothing else, at after-school places or school offices or stuff. But there was actually an app that actually had an integral story version of Oregon Trail for years that I actually replayed with the stories and stuff when they did it. Unfortunately, they axed it a couple of years ago, but it was actually fun.
I played Oregon Trail once at like a summer camp as a kid. And I just remember it being very difficult.
It was. And it was, well, so was the actual trail. It was supposed to be educational, but I kind of liked it. That dark humor in me liked killing off all the characters, but when you did the app one, I actually got master levels of that. I got good at it, you know. No
And I
lie.
remember, and that was the kind of game you actually played using a floppy disk.
Oh, I don't want to hear about when you're floppy. I mean, sorry, I had to. I hated floppy disks. I hated the actual floppy disks. Not these idiots who tried to name the disks floppy disks. It's not a floppy unless you can go like this and it jiggle in your hands, people. Which also sounds really dirty. I'm going to disregard what I was starting to say now.
Oh, there's a camera shift.
Oh my god.
The camera shifts in this game. God, look at that animation. That is so beautiful. That's our boy. That's our Zach. I really hope that they don't pull some shit in the remake where Zach is still alive, because like that would just be so stupid. His death was so meaningful. This is not FF14. Final Fantasy 14 was an MMO, and I don't play MMOs, and I don't like that shift. This is a prequel to 7.
One side note to the few years I was delving into some MMOs. One of them, I will actually tell you, I got fucking a lot of money off that account when I sold it. I was the top rated player on the entire server.
That's another thing. Like, I don't understand these people who sink their entire lives into MMOs. I don't get it.
I didn't. The other players suck. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean the fact that you were able to sell an account on a video game for a shit ton of money, like somebody just really wanted that so bad.
Hundreds of dollars.
Like, my God. It's like
And
people who play
I was just gonna give it away to somebody until somebody actually offered me a freaking, I'll just say, barely below $1,000 offer, and I'm like, the fuck? Okay, give me the money. And yeah, I got the transfer and the money to my PayPal, and I was sitting there going, this is fucking real. Okay, fine. Here. I switched it to a different email. Here's the password. Have fun. I'm done. You know?
They have clips wise, guys. I'm just holding off on playing it because I think like Rosetta has issues with the flashing or something.
Just tell me when. I'll look down and write while you're playing the clips.
Okay.
Because I've got enough light in here, it's not going to show if I'm looking down.
H.R. Geiger designed the Xenomorph from Syl from Species.
And by the way, to the comment to the guy in chat that's named with lore, you have no idea, Precious. You have no idea. No idea. Hey, there's a reason that I am this difficult to deal with, this hyper and this bouncy. And my husband is still adoring after over 16 years married. I'll just put it that way, okay?
I'm slightly afraid of Rosetta, but you know, it's one of those, you know, it's a likable fear.
I'll play your clips. I'll just look down now.
Let me see if I can pull it up. That's what she said.
Wow. Dirty. Just tell me when you're done and I'll look back up.
Okay.
That also sounds really dirty, actually.
Let me see. The Rebirth trailer. Oh wait, this is the wrong trailer. I'm looking for the Crisis Core trailer. Crisis Core. Hang on, let me pull it. Let me look on the YouTube. I don't know a lot about the YouTube.
I could have told you that from your channel. I mean,
oh, that is just wrong. I have been trying to promote the hell out of this channel.
You know, I'm just giving you shit, and you know I support you.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on Twitter that hate me because of the way I promote this channel.
Ben, you know I'm just giving you shit. You know I got.
Well, I know. I'm making self-deprecating humor. Didn't Zach get it? Not yet. But I'm See, here's the thing. This is Japan we're talking about. So, Japan, they still respect the stories that they tell. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but they really they actually care about consistency and continuity. Those ancient things that we all thought were just kind of myth. But it's strange. All right, I have got it. I've got the Crisis Core. Whoa, what's up? Yeah, no. Okay, well, I'm gonna click on the play button now.
You're fine. Hubby was yapping.
Come and get it! Hey!
Oh, hell yes. Fuck yeah. Odin's. Oh, now we're getting dramatic.
My friend, your desire
That character pissed me off
is the
so
bringer
much
of
in the
life.
original.
the gift of the goddess.
Because he wouldn't shut up with
You're a
that
little
quote.
more important than my sword. But just a little.
A soldier trademark.
Oh, you.
Color of the sky, right?
But not scary at all.
Good news, Song. Me and Cloud.
It means Angeal has betrayed us as well.
And Jill wouldn't betray us. Never!
If people had wings, they'd be monsters.
Wings, they don't symbolize monsters.
Your glory should have been mine.
How petty.
In hindsight, perhaps.
What the hell did you do, Angeal?
I'm not
Well,
liking this
Look
voice
who's
actor.
here.
Depending on what happens, I may abandon Shinra.
Angels dream of one thing,
Please, tell me.
to be human.
Legend shall speak of sacrifice at world's end.
I'm not liking these new voice actors very much. See, now I'm starting to feel a little meh about it. I don't know about that.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be available on Steam. Yeah. I know the remake Intergrade or whatever that they did for the PS5 is now on Steam, so. Well, you know.
So is
Bless
that
you.
it, or do you have another one to watch yet?
No, not right now.
All right.
Well, thank you for stopping by, Lore.
Have a good night.
Oh. Like, I like the voice for Sephiroth. I do not like this new voice for Zack. He's not, like, his acting is really
Dull, sucky, annoying.
Wise Guys says that you can look up now.
Yay! I have permission from Wise Guys. This year,
Yeah.
I want birthday gifts. I mean,
Yeah. The thing about in Crisis Core originally, that you heard that guy reciting that poem, he recited the same lyrics to the same poem over and over and over, and it's like you got the same flashbacks constantly, and it drove me nuts. I'm like, add more content. Don't just give us the same 4 flashbacks over and over again.
I mean, I could see how well done reciting and stuff like that could have a really deep moment and stuff, because poetry was a language of emotion. That's literally what it was created as, an emotion language, a way to express deep, intense feelings. But if that's all you're going to get from that character over and over again, it would start feeling like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
Yes. And the whole thing is, his character he's a prototype experiment that's trying to cure himself of this like debilitating disease.
Let's be clear why I defend poetry, okay?
I mean, I knew that. Like, I didn't mind his poem.
No, I get that.
I wanted him to at least continue, like, give different things. Don't just recite the same 4 lines throughout the whole game.
Let's look at it this way. If I went to, because a lot of these open mics don't just do music, they'll allow you to do like recite poems or show off art or other stuff as your things, right?
Yeah.
If I went to all these different showcases, open mics and stuff, and I recited the same like 2 poems over and over on every channel, people would want to fucking kill me.
Yeah, and I think the biggest issue Crisis Core had was like they showed a couple of meaningful moments with Zack and his mentor, and every time there's a moment of drama between those two, they would flash back to those same 2 moments, and I'm like, show us that there's more to their background than just those 2 frickin' moments. Like, yeah, like that was the thing. Like the 7 remake, it was different from most Japanese translations because the actors in the remake were freaking awesome. And like, normally dubs are kind of shit, but they were the exception to the rule, and this one was just like, what the fuck? Ugh. The emotions were just played all wrong. No. That was because of the fact that as the story progressed, they're trying to hammer home the emotions of what Zack is going through. And as a result, they felt like they wanted to keep showing you, like they did the same thing in certain animes, like if you ever watched Naruto, they did the same thing in Naruto. That character that looks like Bruce Lee, they always did these there was always a moment where they would do a flashback where he's like doing his one moment where he's like, I'm gonna be a ninja, but I'm not gonna use chakra, I'm gonna just be a fighter. And they show that same thing over. It's like, okay, we know his motivation, we get it now, we're not idiots, don't have to remind us. And they did the same thing in Dragon Ball Z, but Z was too lovable to hate it for that. Am I being a little hypocritical? Maybe. Yeah, I would agree with that. Exactly. That is exact. They have to hit you over the head with it.
What if I have a sadistic, twisted sense of humor and those sad moments in games make me laugh hysterically?
I mean, you'd have to be pretty heartless to laugh at what Zack goes through.
Not heartless. There's a difference between a twisted, sardonic sense of humor and somebody who can completely differentiate themselves from fiction and reality versus somebody who's actually heartless in reality.
Because his master, who taught him all about honor and everything, finds out that he was a genetic experiment and slowly descends into madness.
It's fiction. I watch fucking horror movies to watch people get disemboweled. It's fiction. I have the biggest soft heart in reality, but anything fictional has no effect on me.
It's the same emotional resonance that you get from like the Winter Soldier's story.
I don't get emotion there either. I don't get emotion from fictional stories. I can't. It doesn't react to me. As long as my brain knows it's not real, I don't react to it emotionally.
I felt like Advent Children, there were elements I liked, but I really hated Cloud as the emo kid. It felt out of character to me.
I'm not
based on the
sure if
original
Ben knows
game.
what to think of me right now after what I just told him.
I am just choosing to move on.
And
But-
it's not going to change the truth.
Because I felt for the Winter Soldier, I felt for Angeal, I felt for Zach.
And most people do, but I can't. And that's why I said it's not heartless, because I'm one of the biggest soft hearts in reality, but I don't feel fiction.
I didn't feel for Genesis. I was glad when he died. I wanted to see him die again. But Advent Children, yeah, I didn't like Emo Cloud. I really hated the horrible dub translations, particularly the famous awful line that was heard round the world of dilly dally shilly shally. That was a line that they threw into an English dub, and they meant it to be dramatic and serious.
Were they on crack pipes as the time when they did this?
This was before English dubbers really started taking Japanese translations seriously.
I still repeat the question. Were they on crack pipes when they did this?
I don't know what they were thinking when they tried that out. I don't know how they thought of that. I don't know why they thought that would resonate with an American audience. I did like the director's cut a lot more than the original, but I still felt like a lot of the characters were out of character a bit. I didn't like Rufus Shinra's bizarre change of heart. I thought that the Sephiroth triplets would have been way more compelling if the movie took the time to explain them better. Because if you didn't read up on the story beforehand, they come off as very outlandish and bizarre. Oh, the worst is when Tifa says it as a means of trying to tell Cloud to get over himself. Oh, and Aerith repeats that same line later on as a ghost. That's
awkward.
probably wise. Because I know that with the subs, those are the ones where they put, the actors give the best emotion. Yeah, there was. It had a lot of better moments. It played better with the audience. They added in and they also connected it with some of the prequels and stuff, which was good. The 7 remake corrected everything that was wrong with Advent Children. Characters were way better, as well as the actors. The chick who played Tifa in Advent Children was very monotone, and the chick who plays Tifa in the remake is I would want to date her. Even without knowing what she looks like, I would want to date her because she had that sexy, throaty voice.
You're
And
just
I love-
obsessed with getting the throat. I mean,
I just love Tifa so much. I wish she was a real person.
you just want her throat. I mean,
Look, men like being able to put things in women's throats, okay?
duh. I'm married. I know this.
But no, I'm saying like she had like a sultry kind of deep voice. Not like deep like I'm actually a man deep, like, Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to say that.
You're being all kinds of offensive, and you're gonna get canceled now.
I'm being phobic. I apologize. I'm so afraid. I'm scared to death. Let's see. Like Tifa from Advent Children. She had a really... Oh god, wait, let me see if I can find the horrible, horrible line. It's a terrible line. God, yeah, I really hated this scene with a passion. Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't hate the whole scene. Like, there was one part where I was like, all right, this is starting to get good. And then she throws that line out there, and I'm like, yeah, it's dead. Yeah. Let me see. Stop. Now, I don't know if you... it's a low res quality picture, but I don't know if it's still up for your dealio.
Just do your thing. I can write. I have to keep working anyways.
Let me find that. Yeah. All right. Let me see.
I'm not fit to help anyone.
God, I hated him in this
Not
movie.
my family. Not my friends. Nobody.
Your music is louder than the video.
Dilly dally, shilly shally.
Oh my god.
I think she wants you to move on, man.
Did you find them?
No.
God, it hurts my ears to hear it. Jesus.
That just makes no sense.
God almighty.
Right.
Let me see. Tifa. Now, Tifa in the remake. It's way better.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for the... Oh, this... I don't need the Barrett scene. God, who the hell would do the game that badly that they get the Barrett scene? That scene is the best scene.
Can't sleep?
No.
Wise guys, I'm going to pretend that your comment is ramming and not reaming.
I heard footsteps.
Sorry. Didn't mean to wake you.
Maybe I shouldn't be looking at chat on my phone while I'm
Light sleeper.
looking down.
It's a soldier thing.
That flower you gave me the other night, that was from Aerith, wasn't it? I knew there was something
You are
weird going on.
just...
You buying flowers?
You bought him flowers. Oh my
They
god, why didn't you
symbolize
give them to me?
Believe
I
it or
mean,
not, I was curious, so I looked it up. I tried.
I
to
was
keep it
curious.
alive
Why
as
do you
long as
buy
I could.
flowers for a man? You're so
But now-
gay.
It's
That's
down
not what
bad.
happened.
like before.
I'm still dressed. Why am I
Our
dressed?
And everything else.
They lost their home, you monster.
This is what I'm like when I watch stuff. Okay. Remember that filter I don't have? It comes out with my dark humor.
Everything from us. Again.
Then why do you have clothes? I mean,
Don't you dare insult Tifa. She's having a hard time.
then why did she sound almost like she's laughing there for a moment?
Because voice actresses aren't always great. But damn it, she was better than the Advent Children one.
I'm sorry. This is how I watch things.
It was a beautiful moment.
Ruined by me. I get it.
It was so beautiful.
What can I tell you?
I-
Fiction does not get emotions from me. It just doesn't. I'm sorry.
It gets emotion from me, hence I write it.
I get emotion when I write stuff because I'm pouring my heart and soul in it. But when I watch or read something else, again, this comes to what part of the spectrum I'm on. This comes with my brain conditions.
All
My
I know
brain
is-
differentiates too much. It's too logic based between the fantasy. I'm
All
either
I
in
know
fantasy mode or I'm in logic mode, and they can't. No.
All I know is that Tifa is gonna laugh at your poems.
You're so sweet. I'm still saying he said good ramming. I'm gonna
Yes.
say it's ramming.
Oh no, like that dilly dally shilly shally line was like it was the joke heard around the world. Like everybody mocked that shit to death. Hence, when you got the remake, all of the shit that's translated in the remake, it's like it sounds like it's actual lingo you would hear people say in like America and stuff. Like they made sure. There was no nude scenes, unfortunately, in the 7 remake.
Is this when if anybody's still in the chat watching,
They're still there.
then they get to make fun of my blurting out inappropriate things?
No, they'll probably join you.
See, the thing is that, okay, yes, you can laugh at me, and I can laugh at the moments, but it's really not intentional. Now, my husband encourages it. That's why he likes to watch like really bad C-level horror movies and Hallmark movies and stuff, because he knows it'll just rip them apart for hours. It'll take him like 7 hours to watch a movie because I'll just keep making smart ass comments and he keeps saying pause it. He does it just to get me to make the comments.
Look, I mean, the bottom line is you need to play Final Fantasy VII.
I don't have time to play anything anymore.
We all have time for Final Fantasy.
At this point, I have been trying to figure out for the last few weeks how the fuck I can try to get about 36 hours in every day.
I'm always
Do you not
promoting on
notice that I'm
YouTube.
jiggling in this seat the entire night?
I kind of thought it was like you were trying to get boob jiggle action going.
No. Because of the physical therapy for the leg injury that I had this spring. I have an elliptical under the table. I'm running all day while I do my work. I'm right now at about 16,000 steps this evening. So that jiggle is me working out.
How would I break the time-space continuum? The remake breaks the time-space continuum. because Sephiroth goes back in time and changes the events of the original game. So God only knows what we're gonna get in the future, in the next 2 installments. All I know is Aerith better die the way she did in the original. If Aerith survives somehow, I am going to be angry. And I swear to God, if they like try to pull some shit where it's like, okay, this time Aerith won't get killed, but Tifa's gonna die this time because it's all different. If they do something like that, I'm gonna have to fly to Japan and give them the business in person. Oh!
He's
Wise
referring to
Guys
me,
was-
you ding fuck.
Look, I just happened to bring it back to the topic of the stream, that's all. You could use the hyperbolic time chamber.
Always remember that there's always a little bit of CG with me when I'm in my writing nook.
Wise guys, don't even joke about something like that. That's highly inappropriate. Because Aerith, honestly, like the first time I played Final Fantasy VII and Aerith got killed, I got all sad. Then when I played Crisis Core, and I realized how much Zack loved her and how she immediately gets over him in the original game, I'm like, I'm glad she's dead.
How do I put this delicately? You just said you're taking glee in fictional deaths, but I can't mock fictional emotions?
For Tifa, if you want to make fun of Aerith, by all means.
They took everything. They took everything. They would have taken your clothes too.
Yeah, they dropped a huge section of the city on the neighborhood she lived in, because they live in a double layer city where like all the rich people live on top and all the poor people live on the bottom. And in order to squash out a terror cell, they dropped a portion of the city on and pretended like it was a terrorist attack. And a lot of people
basically,
died.
government is going as normal.
Yes, but this time it's a corporation that is acting as the de facto government.
I'm not going to feel for that in a movie or a
Well, it's a
show
video
or a
game.
game. I'm listening. Now, does that mean that I don't understand the emotion in the moment? Does it mean that I don't have a view of whether it was well done or not that I'll talk about after? I'm fine with that. But I'm not going to feel it.
Wise Guys gets it.
I think he's saying what messed up is that happened in it, not what I'm talking about. There's nothing wrong with people who can't cry at movies.
No, I mean, I get that. I mean...
Or aren't emotionally connected to that stuff.
No, I mean, I get it. I just, it's Tifa we're talking about here. Tifa. The love of our lives.
The love of your life, and probably your right hand while you were feeling yourself up.
Everybody loves Tifa.
You're ignoring what that was.
Tifa is like a major waifu for a lot of people. Even
I
that
just said he masturbates to her, and he's completely trying to ignore what I said.
I mean, look at her. Just look at her. She's gorgeous. She's amazing. Plus,
this is Ben when he has a Woody on air and he's trying not to show it. I mean,
plus, that Star Wars girl.
Yes.
She actually, for one of her latest things, she dressed up as Tifa.
I was gonna say I could see it in that face. Actually, I could see her playing the part.
Hang on.
Yes, I know Anna.
I'll
Literally,
say it.
I actually know her.
I know. Well, she just did. She just did Tifa for her thing. That's right. I said it. Yeah, look, there we go. I'm waiting for your response.
Looks right.
Well, there you go. So now you have to love Tifa.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it is.
Literally, I have nothing against the character. I just found that moment in the animation fun
I
to
thought
mock.
that moment when she was crying about her home being destroyed hilarious.
You're going to use this so much to try to torture me, and I'm not going to feel guilty because it's fiction. And I don't have a motion to fiction.
Now,
And I don't feel guilty.
When Aerith gets stabbed by Sephiroth, that is a joyful moment for me. I thoroughly enjoy that. Because poor Zack, you know, he makes his way back to Midgar to try to see her again one last time, and the Shinra military gun him down, and they kill him in the middle of nowhere. and then you jump to the main events of Final Fantasy VII, and when Aerith brings up her first boyfriend, who is Zack, she goes, "Oh yeah, we weren't really that serious about each other, you know. I think a lot of women liked him, whatever." I got over that. It's like, oh, that's great. He only died going to see you. But, you know, whatever. Meh.
Yeah, see, I'm not that kind of a bitch. I may mock fictional moments watching them, but I actually feel for people, you know?
Wise Guys has to take a phone call.
1-900 dial a nerd. I mean,
he's probably calling someone to find out about what happened with Dilly Dally Shilly Shally. Lordy. But I'm seeing we still got 3 viewers out there. They're not in the chat. So it feels kind of odd.
everyone out there, please drop something in chat if you think he's being too hard on me for mocking fiction.
I'm not being hard on you. Okay, that now my mind went somewhere bad.
You just made me think about needing to spend time with hubby. I mean,
Jesus. Good God Almighty. What did I do? I clicked on something.
well, plenty of people will yell out, "Oh Lord," during it. I mean,
I was listening to. I had something in my ear. That's also what she said.
I was gonna say, do you have an ear infection?
Wise Guys. Erections don't happen in this space. God, why don't I know that meme?
I don't know. I don't know anything about all that stuff. I'm just a sweet, innocent girl who likes to laugh at sensitive moments in fictional stories.
Now I remember where that meme was. I just remembered it. That's the thing when as a streamer, I'm not super on point when it comes to references. You know, there's a lot of things that the internet makes popular that I always jump onto, like, way late in the game.
So many inappropriate jokes about when you jump in things, so...
But, you know, Tifa and Cloud, that's the one thing that I support shipping with. People love to ship those two, and I would say rightfully so. You keep dropping in links that I'm like...
I will support any shipping as long as it's not from Raylos, because Raylos are fucking psychos who need shock therapy.
Funny thing about Raylos, I originally thought the idea of like a light side and dark side user having like a romance that ends tragically, like I thought that was kind of a neat idea, but it wasn't executed well at all.
Well, the thing about Raylos is they act like it's truly this vision of romance, and literally, if you look down the personality traits, behaviors, and everything of both characters, they are literally the embodiment of the like 5 pages that describe a toxic relationship that ends in abuse or murder.
Well, that was what would make it an interesting thing to see in Star Wars. Is, you know, like we've seen light side and dark side fighting, but we've never really seen like, whoa, like what if the light side and dark side users like each other, and like how their ideologies will force them to be in conflict, but there's that personal element in there that gets complicated. And I thought that was a neat idea, and they didn't do anything with it because nobody could figure out what they wanted this series to really be, and it just fizzled out, and it became, let's find the thing that leads to Palpatine, and Palpatine should not have been in it.
Well, Palpatine was named Rey, and then she pretended she's a Skywalker. Life alert much? I mean...
Yeah, Rey, like, that was a character that had potential that was not... none of it was actualized.
Okay, yeah, that one too, King League, but to be fair, they actually are in a relationship in the comics. It's just tragic. The thing is, the way that Harley and Joker are made up is they are mutually abusive. That actually is truly mutually abusive. They use each other, they manipulate each other, and they hit each other.
Is this the laughing Hispanic man you were speaking of? But yeah, no, the Joker Harley thing is stupid. Nobody wants a relationship like that. It's supposed to be a tragedy. But Harley became this icon for Hot Topic, and you know. Oh. Yeah, I mean, everything I've heard about the Legends stuff was way better than what Disney did.
Oh no, Luke and Mara was a beautiful story of starting as enemies and becoming lovers. And
yeah,
all the crap they tried to do with Krylo and fucking Rey Slut was done really beautifully without all the creepy romance shit with Jason and Jaina and the war between the twins for good and evil. And yes, EU, don't call it Legends because that's a Disney term.
But it's not canon anymore.
Fuck Disney and fuck what they say is canon. If my headcanon says that, I have already decided. My headcanon came up with the solution I wanted for the last Disney movie before they even released it. My solution was simple. This rift in time and space opens up. Jason comes through, shanks Krylo through the fucking head for stealing his story and bastardizing it, and then kills everyone. The end.
Yeah.
I'm good with that ending. That's, to me, what happened.
It's one of those things where, like, that I feel like the Disney Star Wars thing was just so scarring for everybody. Like, it's like we're all bringing up a traumatic event. It's like, we have to vent it out. We can't, bottle this up, guys. We all bore witness to the murder. Yeah. I've been watching reviews of I saw a review recently of what's going on with that Andor show. And I'm hearing like apparently it's not bad, but to me it's like too little too late. Because even if Disney does good stuff with Star Wars, it's like there's no point in continuing with it because they ruined the heart and soul of it already. So it's like you can't go home again. The only way you'd be able to fix any of that is if they would come out and say, well, the sequel trilogy isn't canon anymore, and they're not going to do that. Because that would mean they made a mistake, and they don't want to admit that. So, and I'm sure there's a huge contingent of the new Star Wars fans that would would riot. You're giving in to the man babies. You can't do that. You can't give in to the man babies.
Wait. Does this look like I'm a man? Does this look like I'm a man? Thank you.
Just gotta throw me off like that.
I'm just saying, men do not have boobs this big unless they weigh like 1,000 pounds.
Tifa's boobs are the stuff of legend, by the way.
No, my boobs are. Get it right. I mean,
Tifa's boobs were they were famous on the PlayStation 1 especially. That's why Remake, one of the things a lot of people got annoyed with is that they actually reduced her cup size. They didn't make her flat, but it was obvious that they shrunk them down a little bit.
Look, I have the banner for my channel. I have been trying to push a hashtag for 2 years because of all these people saying real representation, but body positivity, all this shit. I have a hashtag to counter that. It's called Big Boob Representation and Booty Love. Take either one and spread them like wildfire.
I like booty. Booty is it's like, boobs are good when are like boobs only are good for when you're a teenager. But you really become a man when you get into the booty.
No, that's bullshit.
That's when you're mature.
That is bullshit. That is straight up bullshit. There's nothing wrong with any guy loving any part of a woman that he wants, and that doesn't make him less a man or more teenage. It's stupid. Fucking kink shaming, body shaming douchewad.
That's what I do. That's what I'm here for.
By the way, that also, wise guy, I'm going to use that quote and tweak it slightly. Always be aware when you're doing sexual acts that STDs spread faster in anal play.
I haven't done anal play in a long time.
I just had to be the more you know moment for the show. I mean,
it's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. I agree, King Leak. Oh yeah, we rebel. Oh God. Yeah. The titty person.
Do I even want to know?
Wise Guys was bringing up the Canadian teacher that has the giant boobs that we all have to accept because this person is trans. And I mean, like, I'm not talking about like regular big boobs. I mean, like, deliberately, insanely enormous boobs.
Meanwhile, there was a story I saw recently where there's actually a school district where the parents are complaining about the woman being the teacher for their fucking first and second grade students because they're saying she's too sexual to teach kids. And literally she dresses like a old school mom. She just has really massive curves. It's like, what do you want her to do? Just like cut off parts of her body?
I never heard the theme song to Enterprise. I never watched Enterprise. I
tried.
I only watched The Next Generation.
I wouldn't sing that song if you fucking paid me.
I liked The Next Generation. It's a shame that they've ruined it with the new stuff. Of course, I mean, that can be said for so many things now. Jesus.
I know, right?
Can't be afraid of the wind, Ensign. Take us to Warp 4. I know that from Enterprise. That's about it. I actually met Scott Bakula once. He's a weirdo.
Every time somebody says that name, I feel obligated to say what they said in Futurama. Way to go, Bakula. You ruined a franchise. And yet, he's not as bad as the shit that's come out since him. Which is really sad.
I met him on the set of NCIS New Orleans. I was an extra in that show a few times, and there was one time I had to walk down a hallway while he like kind of walks behind me, and he got annoyed because I had my diabetes test strips in my pocket and they would jingle when I walked, and that annoyed him, so I had to take them out of my pocket, and so I did. And he apparently
I know some people who would be all happy to find out that you did extra work on NCIS stuff. They're a little obsessed with those shows.
NCIS New Orleans is the most hilarious thing. It's almost as hilarious as Princess and the Frog. I remember there was one time I saw like one clip of the show, and he's like, I guess he's trying to give like this badass cop line, but they were trying to make it uniquely New Orleans, and so they're like, what do we do? And so he says, you tell that guy I've got a muffalata with his name on it. A muffalata, for those of you who don't know, is a special type of sandwich that you get in New Orleans, and it's really nothing special. It's just got like olives and stuff on it. But because it's something you find in New Orleans, like, we had to incorporate that. It's like the psychic in Princess and the Frog who uses a pot of gumbo as her crystal ball. Yeah, Bakula, he's a weird guy.
When I watched Princess and the Frog, I literally thought that they bastardized New Orleans culture as bad as they do native culture every time they do something like Pocahontas or shit. And I don't even know Southern culture that much, but it was so obvious they just fucked it up the ass that I didn't even have to.
I wouldn't call it bastardized, but it was just like they went for the easiest stereotypes imaginable. It was like they didn't really go too much in depth on the lore of the city. They're like, oh, okay, jazz.
To be fair on one thing, if they were going to use one of the old fairy tales and actually do make it a black story, at least they went for one that didn't actually have a set place it was supposed to happen or any details about the race or culture of the people that were supposed to be in it. By that standard, at least they weren't really race swapping. They just found one they could use. I'll give them that much, and the rest of it, fuck them. I mean, I was still surprised that they actually did Brave, because I couldn't believe they actually did a story that was pro redhead.
Oh God, are you subtly referring to the current controversy going on with a certain Disney classic movie?
Actually, I was just referring to the fact that almost everything made in the last like 15 years has been just constant gentricide. But okay, that too.
Because my thing was, I did a video recently where I was talking about how they announced how they're doing a prequel movie about Mufasa. And I came up with my guessing game of like, what tropes are we gonna see? And I came up with Mufasa is gonna be a secondary or tertiary character in his own movie. Sarabi is gonna be like the main protagonist. She's gonna push the story forward. She's gonna chew out Mufasa about the patriarchal structure of lion society. Scar will most likely be like abused by their father, and it will probably have something to do with him having like different sexual proclivities. So we're gonna have
like Disney.
So we're gonna have like a very sympathetic angle for.
Let's be honest. I fully believe that Disney did steal the story that they used for the whole Lion King thing from the other book. And the other book was just an animal retelling of fucking Hamlet anyways. So they stole the story from somebody who stole the story, so fucking come up with something new. I mean... I'm good. Ben was frozen. This could be fun. I can take over the channel. The channel is mine now. Ben is a wanker. I mean. And always remember, I am the queen. Or to quote something I said to Anthony over at Dark a couple of years ago, hail me, fucking hail me. I mean, this is great. When Ben comes back, I'm still going to get reamed for what I'm saying. I don't fucking care. Ha 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 ha! I'm in control. It's my channel now, bitch.
Oops.
Ah, fuck.
I got kicked off because Disney found out that I was shit talking them. So let me just start off by saying that Disney is a wonderful company. They care deeply about their customers, and they just want to set things right when it comes to the
Osmosis
balance.
is not a good look for you.
The balance of their stories was always off. It was skewed towards white and heterosexual and Christian. And so,
that's why they did the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean,
and so we have to redress that. We have to get the balance back. Wise guys, Disney is not interested in virtue signaling. They're interested in what's best for all of us. We should all just surrender our minds and our tastes.
am I gonna need hip waders if I have to stay in here listening to this bullshit?
Let's not underestimate the value of bending the knee to our overlords who just want what's best for us.
There's only one time I bend the knee, and that has nothing to do with anything with Disney.
How did I know you were going to go there?
Because it's me, and I'm a disgusting pervert.
Lord Jesus.
At least I'm honest. I mean, come on.
Well, it is about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting a tad late for me. So I think we should start wrapping it up here.
Never Decker with an unwrapped pecker.
Well, I have certain things against that, but Rosetta, where can we find you when you're not on this program?
I have my channel, which is Eagle Rider. It's Easy to find, just underneath the bike company if you do the search, by the way. Other than that, you go over to Twitter and watch me smack people around at RoseMQueen1, which also has the links to my Twitch and my Redbubble with it. And soon I will be actually putting a pinned tweet with all my different links, as I will be building some domains for my art and my writing soon.
Hell yes. And of course, I am your host, Ben, aka The Fusebox. And you can find me on Twitter at Knights Outlaw. And you can also find me on Instagram at Outlaw Knights. And you can find me on Facebook now under my real name, Ben Fuselier, Fuselier. And let me see.
Why would you want to? I mean,
and we are also we are going to be here every Thursday, though the time may be changing depending, because I've got a poll going here on the Twitter. So right now we're deadlocked between good day and good time and good day and bad time. So there may be a chance we'll be switching the time around. It depends on how this ends. This may end deadlocked, God only knows. But due to a suggestion I received, I may also be doing a second stream on Saturdays around midnight.
I'm down. I'm a night owl. I'm down.
Because the night, we need to try to get the late night crowd in here. And yes, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit the dislike button. Share it around. Go ahead and roast us if you want. We can't see it because Twitter really cares
Spit
about
roast?
us.
Rotisserie style, baby? I mean. Sorry about that.
Merida. Oh, Brave. Oh. Took me a second there. But yeah.
That's because you're slow.
But yeah, we will hopefully be doing a second stream on Saturdays. I might start this weekend. I don't know. Maybe. I'll let everybody know through my usual means of harassing everybody on Twitter.
And I will be doing more interviews soon. I forgot one thing to tell you guys, so please pay attention to Madness Comics Network, because I'm doing a show with them, and he's actually building a channel where everyone and anyone can set up to do different 1-hour shows from the community, so we can build a 24-hour network of the community.
Hell yeah. 24-hour network, shit.
He's working on it. He's got several different hosts already.
Hell yes. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and we will talk to you all later.